This is JW here. Just finished an exciting summit at the Great San Diego Grand Manchester Hyatt. Just had over about 1,700 people attended the last 3-day summit. Had a blast here. I think a lot of my guys are super fired up now. And the biggest way to build your life is to learn how to be a successful entrepreneur. And that's what we did for the last 3 days here. Just finished up, got a little bit hoarse voice here. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. One of the questions that people always ask me is, how do you manage to lead a big company like this when there are so many moving parts? You have so many great leaders, salespeople, employees that's all working for you and with you. What is your secret? If you have to give me one secret, what would that be? How can you continuously leading others? And what is that one thing? What is that one punch? Why would somebody who's been with you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and some of them even been with you 10, 15 years already, still align with you, still following you? And I want to answer that question. I'm going to give you my secret, okay? Listen, here's the philosophy. If today you want to lead somebody who's at a 5, right? 1 is being the weakest, 10 is being the strongest. If you want to lead somebody who has a quality of 5 points, for example, and you are only at 6.5, it's all good. 6.5 can lead a 5. But let's say that today you bump into somebody who's at a 7. You are only at a 6.5. Let me tell you, my friend, 6.5 cannot lead a 7. All right? 6.5, the most a 6.5 can lead is somebody who's at a 6.4. So the only way you're going to continue to have an edge over your people for so many years, for me, is I got to do 2 things all the time. The first thing is not money, okay? The money part is later on. The first thing is that it's your knowledge. If today your knowledge is higher than your peers, if your knowledge is a lot more abundant than your followers, then they will listen to you because they always are learning something for you. So one of my secrets has always been reading. I believe leaders, hold on one second right here. I believe, where's my book? Got it right here. Reading a new book right now. You see, leaders are readers. If you're not reading, your mind is gonna be outdated. You always gotta be reading new books, right? You always gotta be watching videos, attending seminars. Because if you're no longer learning just because you think what you learned before is all good, eventually your mind is gonna be rusted. And the day your mind gets rusted, that's the day your people will surpass you in terms of knowledge. And once that happens, they probably will no longer want to align with you because they believe, at least, they know more than you. So the first key component for others to follow you and align with you is you got to constantly have self-improvement and learning and reading and always watching and making sure you get the right resources, right? Obviously, there's a lot of bad books out there on the marketplace today. So read books that's recommended by your mentors, Go to seminars that were recommended by people who build a company from scratch and ultimately become a huge empire, right? So reading is extremely important, all right? And the second component of it is, no question about it, at the end, it's your track record. It's your lifestyle. It's the amount of money you are able to accumulate and make, right? You can talk about a dream, but if you can't show people all this stuff, at the end, it's not gonna work. If you are making $300,000 a year right now, and you bump into somebody who makes $250,000 a year already, it is very difficult for you to lead that person. You know what I'm saying? But if you are making $500,000 right now, to lead a person who makes $300,000 is much easier. So over the years, I constantly do 2 things. Improving my mind and reading constantly and making sure my mind never get rusted. And number 2, I hustle so hard and learn how to sell early on in my business, learn how to build leaders, learn how to recruit and build great leaders. and making sure that I'm also ahead of the game when it comes to money and financially. You understand what I mean? So you got the knowledge, you got the money, two things combined together, then you're gonna always have a lot of good followers with you. But the end of the day is you gotta be willing to teach people as well, right? I think that's the big one. You know, you can't just make all this money, learn all this knowledge, and just keep it to yourself and not willing to transfer all of this knowledge to helping others to succeed and they make their dream come true. So if you got those two things, and plus the last thing obviously is to have a good heart and truly want to give this knowledge and helping people to make money, then ultimately you're gonna have a lot of people want to follow you. So that's my little secret. Hope that makes sense for you, okay? So this is the last day I'm in San Diego, so I'm gonna enjoy a lot today. Finally get to see San Diego a little bit. And guys, until then, I see all of you next time. Take care.